Hey friends, it's been almost 2 months into this project. Patience has been wearing thin, tempers have been rising to a new high score, and we regret to inform you that we will be discontinuing the series. The end! Haha! Just kidding! What kind of a lazy bum do you take me to be? Jokes aside, today's video is gonna be different from our usual. Instead of programming, this time we're going to be solidifying our ideas for Nomads game mechanics. First, let's talk about cards. To refresh your memory, we mentioned in Devlog 1 that cards would determine the actions of a nomad. We've decided that there are going to be two main categories of cards. Faction cards that affect all your nomads, and unitary cards that belong to the individual, only affecting one nomad at a time. Faction cards are drawn at a rate of 1 per 2 minutes, and won't cost any resources to play. Some examples of possible faction cards are migrate, gather somewhere, set up camp, etc. Unitary cards are drawn at a rate of 1 per minute, and when played, it will cost the nomads energy, which is a resource that refills gradually. Unitary cards are further split into 3 more categories: assignment cards, immediate cards, and spirit cards. Immediate cards resolve immediately. Examples of possible immediate cards are draw 2 cards, restore 4 health, etc. Assignment cards and spirit cards are placed into a queue when played. Assignment cards initiate the nomad to perform an action, and when completed, are popped from the queue. Spirit cards are special assignment cards that summon a spirit with hit points, lifespan, and other death conditions, providing a persistent effect. A few examples of possible assignment cards are cut wood, gather items within a certain radius circle, etc. A few examples of possible spirit cards are summon bear. Whenever you play an immediate card, draw a card. Uses 3. Alright, and like any other card game out there, we'll also have keywords to fit more meaning on a single card. For now, we came up with the following keywords. Radius X affects everything in a circle with radius X. Tile targeting requires dragging to a target tile. Entity targeting requires dragging to a target entity. Autoplay condition, card gets automatically played when the condition is met. Companion X seeks out X friendly nomads to accompany the chosen nomad to carry out the task. Chain effect has an extra effect when played within a minute after another card. Biome harmony, biome effect, has an extra effect when used in a certain biome. But Jory, how do you get cards? Cards are generated through 3 main pathways. 1, packs, cause packs are just the coolest thing ever. Remember when you bought your first physical pack of MTG and opened it all excitedly, then realized you got a bulk rare? I digress. 2, daily quest rewards. Daily quests in this game will be called prophecies, and quote-unquote fulfilling those prophecies will reward you with packs or resources. 3, cards can be found naturally scattered throughout the world as items. Another point of interest, instead of having unique classes for each nomad, like your typical RPG game, we assign a type to unitary cards. The type shouldn't affect a huge part of the gameplay, but by design, having more cards from the same type should synergistically increase the strength of the nomad's deck. A nomad may have any number of cards from any card type. Moving on to the bread and butter of our game, the nomads themselves. At the start of the game, you are given 3 exceptionally talentless nomads. Your starting nomads begin with some very mundane neutral cards that are going to be the bare necessities to living a nomadic life. Let's refer to this stage of the game as the early game. Eventually, you'll stabilize. You've played your cards right and have amassed a solid amount of surplus food. But you've also depleted the natural resources within a comfortable range of your camp. Hence, you decide to migrate. Congrats, you've entered the mid-game. You come across a hobo sitting by themselves in a strange place. These are wandering nomads, immortal and ageless, until you decide to recruit him, at which point they immediately become about as useless as your other nomads, for purposes of gameplay. These hobos are scattered infinitely across the map, and your company may grow without limits. But one question that may be raised is, what if I try hard to get 1,000 nomads? How are you supposed to manage all them boys? Very good question, bub. Let me illustrate what Bub is trying to say. Suppose after grinding away at this game for 2 weeks, you now have 50 nomads. And now you want some nomads to go hunt and gather food. If we make this command a faction card, you will end up telling all 50 of your nomads to go hunt, which isn't always ideal. With unitary cards, you will have to navigate through your camp, selecting one nomad at a time. Check if they have the card hunt, and then play the card if he does. They won't even stick together as a group, since the hunt card will be played at different times. Either way, this feels clunky to achieve. We solve this by allowing players to let a subgroup of your nomads to settle down as you migrate from an area, effectively reducing your nomad count. These nomads relinquish their identities and attempt to, God forbid, farm. If they do indeed manage to succeed in agriculture, they will establish a small village that will periodically send you income. Settling down is quite late game oriented, so from a development perspective, this is low priority, and you're probably not going to hear about this for a long time. Please spam it in the comments every video, lest we forget. One of the most core mechanics of a game is acquiring powerful relics. Relics are spread sparsely across the world, rare items that are guarded by strange monsters. Although it is risky to attempt to attain one, relics also reward you handsomely. Each relic will come with a game-changing effect, such as massively increasing your nomad's assignment efficiencies, amplifying the effects of certain keywords, adding a set of new faction cards to your deck, etc. In short, this is the overpowered endgame loot that players will be seeking out once they stabilize in the late game. Well, that's our vision for Nomads, subject to change. We'll always be open for suggestions as long as we haven't completed the game yet. So, if you have any bright ideas, write down a suggestion in the comments below, and we'll leave a rating. No, but seriously, it'll be interesting to see what other people's concept of fun is like. Enjoy the summer!